My name is Shirley Self, and I'm here to talk astrology. And today I wanted to introduce you to a moon phase 28, one Salman Rushdie. Let's get this over at better view here. Okay, here's Salman Rushdie. He was born on the 19th of June in 47 at 2:30 a.m. in Bombay, India. So here's his chart. He's got a zero Taurus rising here, and because he's born at the dark of the moon, just before the moon conjuncted the sun, he's got the part of the daemon and the part of Fortuna over here straddling the ascendant. And remember, the part of the daemon is what the daemon wants you to do in this lifetime, and the part of Fortuna is how you make your money. Okay, so we've got a Mars in Taurus here. This is his only Earth planet. He's got the North Node, Venus, conjunct the North Node, Uranus, the Moon, and the Sun conjunct, and the Sun's at 27 Gemini. The Mercury at 21 Cancer here, and Saturn, Pluto conjunction right down here in the 4th house. The Neptune in Libra here in the house of health is retrograde. He's got Chiron right on the descendant. Jupiter here at 19 Scorpio is retrograde in the 7th house. South Node up here in the 8th house. And I added Juno because the relationship is obviously very important to this guy. And because the Chiron is right there on the descendant, that shows that primal wound that he got, that we all get somewhere in our childhood, happened to relationship. And it happened, what happened right after Rushdie was born was the partition of India. That happened 2 months after Rushdie was born. And it traumatized him. The partition of India was truly terrible. Let me see if I can. Okay, it happened on the 15th of August in 1947. And at the time, the North Node was on the ascendant. The North Node at 29 Taurus, 52 degrees was on the ascendant when that broke out. Jupiter was at 19 Scorpio in the 6th house, square Pluto, and square the Sun. And the Pluto and the Sun were straddling the descendant. And India, which was to become India, and Pakistan, and Bangladesh, descended into terrible, terrible, bloody chaos. And that was the trauma that marked Salman Rushdie. There's the beginning of his journey is to deal with this terrible trauma that happened in his country right after he was born. And so relationships are what's important to him. He's been married many times. He's the Chiron on the descendant was, as I said, wounded by that partition, and he learned not to deal with other people. There is a whole raft of people then that he didn't know how to deal with, and from the looks of the horoscope here, does not still not know how to deal with. The Juno up here at 24 Sagittarius is opposite that Uranus, Moon, Sun in Gemini down there. And that is a warning. That is a warning. The Sun, the Uranus is the point of this yod. This yod going to the midheaven and to this Jupiter is really important, and it's a warning to be careful. Another warning to be careful is his. He has the Arabic point of caution right down here at 2 degrees of Cancer, and if you'll notice that 2 degrees of Cancer is in the degree of Chiron and the nodes. So this caution, this warning, needed to be taken seriously. It has a degree of violence right here, real close to the Mars, and and it's at 16 degrees. So it's the violence is opposed to this Jupiter in 19 degrees of Scorpio, in the house of other people, partnerships, open enemies. And with his, with the publication of the Satanic Verses, in 1989, the Ayatollah Khomeini of Iran put a fatwa on Rushdie, and that fatwa gave the militant Muslims the obligation to kill Rushdie, and was a reward of $1 million. Over time, and so Rushdie, of course, had to go into hiding. Over time, the Iran lost interest in pursuing this fatwa, and Rushdie felt that he could, he was more free to partake of the world and not hide out as he had been. So on the 15th of June in 2007, he was in England. He was knighted by Queen Elizabeth. It was a new moon in Gemini, and here's what's interesting is that the North Node was at 10 Pisces, in conjunct the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that he has in the 4th house. Now I think that woke him up, the Muslims, to maybe score that $1 million prize for killing Rushdie. Anyway, they had to wait for a while, but on the 12th of August in 2022, he was delivering a, I think he was in, not so much a lecture, but it was in being interviewed. And he was attacked and stabbed and stabbed and stabbed and stabbed. I guess it was truly, truly terrible. And a man who tried to stop it was also stabbed. It happened at a full moon at 20 Leo, opposite the sun at 20 Aquarius. So it was right here. It was right here. 20, square the Jupiter-Mars opposition there. So, he was stabbed in the eye. Now, he's always had trouble with his eyes. Notice that Virgo, ruled by this Mercury, is on the house of health. And he had recently had surgery on his eyes because he couldn't keep them open. Notice that the Venus, which rules that Neptune, is conjunct the North Node, and so when he had that corrected, he had to have surgery to have his eyes corrected, so that he could just close them. Notice that the Moon and the Mercury are in mutual reception. this really empowers that Mercury. It can you know, what happens if you've got a mutual reception is that you can take that Mercury and you can plug it over here into the Gemini, and you have to keep its basic degree, but at 21 degrees of Gemini over here puts it right conjunct that Uranus. Now, the Uranus is problematical here, and you can see why. It's at the point of this finger of God. Now, what happens with the finger of God is that the point of the finger of God undergoes kind of a Plutonian, or should undergo kind of a Plutonian transformation. It says it's not being used correctly. Change it up, and because, as we know, Uranus is stubborn and uncooperative and does its own thing. And so anyway, the satanic verses nearly got him killed. Oh, he was so terribly injured they had to airlift him to the emergency. This intense chart, the Sun, Uranus, and Pluto are all parallel. And that, remember, parallels are you treat them like conjunctions. So the Sun, Uranus, Pluto, consider it a conjunction. And oh my God, is that potent. And it proved to be a disaster for him. We've got the Jupiter up here. Now, this Jupiter at 18-19 degrees of Scorpio, it is a difficult degree. It is called the dangerous crossing. And it is it's hard. It's energy that's hard to deal with. I have noticed an awful lot of Scorpio Gemini connections, you know, and I can understand that, because Scorpio needs Gemini like Gemini needs Scorpio, and they're not naturally related to each other. They're at inconjunct. And inconjunct will tell you, for instance, what is the Aquarius, for instance, needs Cancer. It's inconjunct to Cancer, but without Cancer, it has no feeling of commitment. It needs Virgo. Why? Because Aquarius is so good at just standing up and looking at the pattern, what's going on, the details. If it wants to function, if it wants to do something with all that wonderful Aquarian objectivity, it needs Virgo. And so I understand why Jupiter and why Scorpio needs Gemini. This Jupiter here, this dangerous crossing, this dangerous degree, is in the Gemini Dwad. I urge you to pay attention to the Dwads. I know you understand the decadence, like this Jupiter is in the second decadent of Scorpio, and so it is ruled by Pisces, but it is in the Gemini Dwad. The Dwads are easy to figure. You know, every 5 degrees in a sign, every 5 degrees has 2 Dwads in it, so a Dwad is 2.5 degrees. They're not difficult at all. If you can count by 5, you can figure out your Dwads. The interesting thing about moon phase 28 is it is the end of the cycle, and it is you would think that the Pisces end of the cycle would be gentle and benevolent it is powerful, exceedingly powerful. It's Pisces in the Scorpio decanon. So 28 is powerful, but you got to look at the creative genius of 28 is moon phase 2, the most physically violent phase in the cycle. It's mask over there is in moon phase 14, which is seeking perfection, polishing, self-polishing. Its body of fate over there at 16 is the fairly violent, emotional moon phase 16. So when Rushdie wrote the satanic verses, he was playing with fire. I don't know if he knew how dangerous it was, but the violence available is tremendous. And where did he? A moon phase 28, if they obsess, they are martyred. And he was set up to obsess. Obsess what? About religious fanaticism. Religious fanaticism. It was religious fanaticism that killed all the people, all those people in the breaking up of India. It was religious fanaticism. You know, England, when they left India, they left it in a state that I think was deliberate. I think they deliberately left it in a chaotic state, because they did the same thing in Israel when they left Israel. They left the two tribes, the two peoples there, totally at odds with each other. Gave them once the guns and told them shoot the other. I don't know what happened, but you can trust that the English do not willingly leave a place, and when they leave it, they're going to leave it in a terrible, terrible state. And so it happened with India and Pakistan and Bangladesh. Anyway, that's Salman Rushdie, a moon phase 28. I don't know if that guy who attacked him was managed to collect any of the money he was owed, $1 million. I hope he's in jail. Anyway, I hope you're well. If you want to buy my book, here's where you get it. Now, if you don't, you can get it from Amazon, or if you prefer not to send your money to enrich Jeff Bezos, try this place. And if you do that, you will also have available this. This is the spinner, and it will tell you how to find out anybody's moon phase. If you know the degree of the sun and you know the degree of the moon, you can find out your moon phase. The spinner makes it so much easier, and oh, do I wish I had it earlier. Because Tom Hanks would not be listed under a moon phase 28, but would be listed under a moon phase 2, which is more proper. And, well, I have to admit that Barack Obama is I put him in a moon phase 25. That's the revolutionary. And I have to look at myself and say, that wasn't mistaken mathematics. That was wish fulfillment. Barack Obama is a moon phase 23, the technician. I wanted him to be a revolutionary so bad that I misread it. Anyway, sorry, Barack. So the spinner's worth getting, and it's free download, and you just print it out, cut it out, pin it together, and you got it made. I hope you're well, and remember that the important thing through these times of chaos is to hold on to the people you love and make sure they know that you love them. Take care. Talk to you later.